feeling like I'm Akademiks. Can't run away.
Oh, okay. So here's the Charleston White story. Let me get to the Charleston White story. Okay. Oh, me and Yes Jules, we cool now, man. We cool. We cool now. Yeah, me and is it this? Fuck. No, this is a random stream. Where's this shit at? Where's the Charleston White shit at? Okay. All right, I'm gonna explain kind of what happened. But yeah. Oh yeah, so I ran to Yes Jules. I as soon as I land, I get pulled into this Complex listed party. It's kind of like a kickoff party for Complex Con. And I told them I was gonna come, which I did. I showed up and did the gifts from Complex gave me some gifts? Fuck. I wonder what those were. Everything got stolen. Fuck it. Anyway, so I show up to this Complex event, and when I show up there, what happened? Yeah, so I show up to the event, and I see a few people, and I love being in some of those environments because even though people, I do love the image that I have online, and I am this image. Akademiks is a scared punk who loves to call the police, but I will say I will pull up to somewhere where somebody that don't like me gonna be at, hoping that we'll have a conversation. Nothing else. I don't do violence, but we love to have a conversation. I did see a couple people that ain't really rock with me. I had a conversation with one of them, which was Yes Jules. The reason why I had to have a conversation with Yes Jules was trying to sue me for, I think she wanted $400,000, saying I defamed her when I went on a rant. So she was trying to sue me. So for me, most of all, I already got enough lawsuits. I don't want somebody else who think that I'm a money lick. So when I seen her, I pulled her to the side and I said, yo, what's good? I said, yo, you trying to sue me, yo? And then we kind of had a conversation. She says she felt the way about certain shit I said. And I said, yo, I felt like you was jumping in my business and saying certain shit. And it was just kind of like we got our own point of view. I ain't going to devalue whatever she said, and I ain't going to make whatever I said, whatever. So we talked for about I felt like it was 20 minutes in the middle of the shit. Like I had 2 drinks in my hand. And essentially, we kind of came to a place of level-headed agreement where it don't make sense to keep throwing shots at each other. Number one, because I don't want to get sued, right? Number two, I don't give a fuck that much. And, kind of leaves open a possibility of maybe in the future hashing it out, maybe on some content shit. And again, it don't mean we friends. But for me, no, it's just not a good look when you seen like a bunch of. I want to be known as a nigga who only gets at women or whatever the case is. So anyway, hopefully that's a lawsuit avoided, and I'll be happy about that. So I know somebody might be like, nah, you should have turned up on her. Hell no, I'm not trying to get no more lawsuits, man. I'm chilling. So anyway, we're cool. We're cool, right? Yeah. So that was Yes Jules. I seen Shorty there, the chick who be on Cam and May show. And by the way, I pulled up to Cam and May's show and I asked the question. I think she's cool with me. I ain't disrespect her. I asked the question. And I seen her at the kickoff event. She ain't say nothing to me. But then I see her at the Complex Con thing because I went to Cam and May's show. I wanted to just show Cam and May some love. And I got on the mic and I asked the question. And I even told her, I'm like, yo, shout out to you. I think her name's Stat, right? I was like, shout out to you, girl. Because I ain't going to come to her shit and disrespect her, like intentionally go to her event and disrespect her. And y'all know my issue with that already. It was like, I'm doing the Lauren LaRosa shit, or Lauren LaRosa's kind of getting at me, and I'm like, yo, who the fuck is this? Like, how you just jump out of the blue, hopping in my business? Like, yo, what we doing? So, yeah, those are the 2 I ran into. But I ain't say nothing to the girl Stat. But me and Shorty, we talked. Who else? There's a bunch of niggas. Anyway. Okay, so Charleston White. Let's get to Charleston White. So Charleston hits me after the Miami show. And Charleston said, yo, Ak, how you going to try to do Miami? No, it hits me after Louisiana. He said, Ak, how you going to try to go to Miami and then you go to Louisiana with my little partner, Aiden, and you ain't bring Uncle Charlie with you. He said, you don't know NBA YoungBoy, man. And you know how he told, he said, say, they love me. And I'm like, oh shit, that would have been dope. He said, plus, Lil Tim, I fuck with Lil Tim. I love Lil Tim. And I said, oh shit. I said, all right. Now, I remember, I think YoungBoy had mentioned Charleston White at one point, and I think it was kind of complimentary. And then I remember a clip where Charleston White says he farted while he was talking about YoungBoy right here.
Who did the young people pick as their leader? NBA YoungBoy. Ooh, give me gas talking about that little boy. Who?
See? Now, that happened. So when he tells me, it's like, yo, act. I've been talking to some of his people. They rock with me. I want to come see a show. I said, yo, I'm going to go to the Houston show. Pull up. We'll be up in the Houston show. We could stream. We could do some shit. I said, I'll even give you, I'll throw you the intro with Lil Tim. Not like Lil Tim's like my man or nothing, but in the backstage area, everybody be there. Everybody. Now, when I heard, he also, because he had said that I don't know who he was talking to on their team, but he had said there was some love there, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. He meets me at the airport, shout out to Charleston. Charleston pulls up. He not pulling up with a bunch of people. He meet me with a can of mace, and he pulls up by himself. I got to keep it 100. Charleston is really living whatever he's saying online. The nigga met me at the airport with a can of mace. That's it. That's it. So I said, all right. Now, I don't know who his connect is on the team. I got a bunch of connects on the team. But I said, yo, I'm going to get credentials and everything right. Because that's usually the big thing. You got to get credentials right. And I'm going to see you at the show. He's like, I'm going to go to the mall, blah, blah, blah. Now, when we're in the car, something reminds me, and my security says to me, are we sure that Charleston is on good terms with YB's team? I said, well, he said he is, and I remember seeing good things online. They said, hey, we're security, but we're your security. You know how them little niggas is getting at these shows. Let's just make sure. Now, I want to tell y'all, because I did bring Vlad to the show. Who else I brought? I brought a bunch of people to the show. I usually get a feeler out there. So I hit like YB's right hand. I'm like, yo, I want to bring some around like Vlad. I want him to get a good experience. You know, big outlet, You want to see the show, different perspective. You know, I told y'all, even Birdman said, yo, act, bring Bud in here. Bring him here. I talked to Joe. You know, the first thing Joe said, the amount of people that invited me, I think they trying to backdoor me. Which, anyway. And I'm like, Joe, no, Joe. I'm like, nah, like, they wouldn't tell me to bring you there to try to fuck you up. You know what I mean? So, I usually put out the feelers. Is this okay? So my security said, yeah, we should probably, because let's not walk this guy into somewhere where we know how it is and they rock with us, but we also don't want to be the people peeling off a bunch of YNs off of this nigga too. I said, yeah, you're right. And it's just... people could watch the show, but the access I have at that show, I'm backstage with everybody. I'm in catering with them. We all eating. We are doing everything in the back. There is no separation between anybody you see. At any moment, you're seeing Tim walk in. You're seeing all the guys you be seeing with him, Bobo, all those people. They're all in there, right? So I'm like, all right, if Charleston's going to be with me or expects to be with me, let me just let them know he's going to be walking around the air with me, because he could probably watch the show in a suite, but nobody's going up to it. It's like me watching Kendrick's show in a suite. Like, unless you're Dave Free, like who's hunting down the suites. If you're backstage, you're not going to the suites, right? So I put in an inquiry. I said, yo, hey, I'm in town. They said, all right, we already got your pass. I said, well, Charleston's here. I think he gonna be rocking with me. We gonna be moving around. I said, is he good? And this is the thing. I told Charleston the same thing. Yeah, everything I'm telling y'all, I told him. I said, Charleston, they never told me you were not good. but it was always a pause. And then they did mention, they said, man, YB fuck with him, but Charleston be talking crazy. Yo, he just dropped a video. And I'm like, Shraggy? Now, ironically, Charleston White, Say Cheese TV. The day we're going to the show, Charleston White,
this shit is called
they've even changed the title. The Charleston White interview that made NBA YoungBoy ban him from all concerts. So this is the thing, I guess YB's team saw it. And now it puts in an interesting predicament. Because here's the thing. Every time, and I spoke to everybody who's anybody about it. YB likes Charleston. Right? However, you also got to realize, what are the optics going to be if Charleston White talked a bunch of shit on a video, comes to the show, chills backstage, and is up in there doing his normal Charleston White shit, and goes home and talks more shit? It's going to look crazy, right? So I think that's what they were like, yo, if the nigga ain't made the video, or if he wasn't talking as crazy, yeah, we want people, because genuinely they want people to see the show. They do want people to see the show. And they understand the more people's whose perspective, and by the way, I was trying to sell it to them that way too. I said, yo, Vlad didn't really know too much about YoungBoy, and he had probably like a more minuscule or lesser perspective of him. When he came to see the show, it opened his eyes. Pause. This could be that for Charleston, but I think it was because I guess Charleston was talking crazy in this. I'll play a little bit of it.
Metropolitan cities and
Here we go.
They doing Diddy the same way.
Here we go.
To get there, they marinate you with that. They spend an hour, nigga. Yeah, nigga. So somebody called me, and told me, that nigga over there kicking in our ass, knocked a patch of hair out of her head. So yeah, yeah, I secretly called, got his ass in jail.
All right,
Preacher. Your motherfucking ass where they send Kentrell ass, nigga. She got Mount Hill, don't you? Nigga, listen, we done watched him go from what, 15 years old, around 8th grade, from juvenile, county jail, federal custody. We done watched him elevate and graduate in the crash out world. You young ain't got a Birdman behind you. You ain't got a record label behind you. You ain't got 14 kids and 7 holes you sticking your dick in like him. You is barely getting pussy. You didn't going to jail as virgins at 14 and 15 years old. Boy, don't you know I sent one of you young niggas ass down there where your daddy went, and you won't ever get to see a YoungBoy concert? That's what I tell all them young niggas that try to scare me by YoungBoy. You ain't badder than the police, nigga. And he ain't either. He ain't either. Because when they get you, mama say every knee go bow. Man, they put that on their medication. But they broke him on house arrest. They took him and gave him to himself. His kids, his woman, his fame, his money, but you can't go nowhere, nigga. And we finna re-transform your whole mind. I wouldn't be surprised if this was Birdman playing.
Okay, you guys can watch this interview. It's a Charleston Say Cheese special. It always goes crazy. I will say this. So this interview, and I guess some of his recent comments, because there's another thing where Charleston White says, he says NBA YoungBoy fans are retarded. Look.
Charleston White snaps on YB fans after seeing his show packed out with YNs.
This is the kids that's struggling to read on their grade level, Sean. These are 7th and 8th graders that read on the 3rd grade level. So all of them come. These are all the kids that was in special ed classes. They wasn't in class with me and you. And they was gonna listen to him rap and they understand it. Me and you gotta listen to it a couple times. Say, what'd he say? They know exactly what he's saying. NBA YoungBoy make dumb, stupid people music. Nobody with intelligence can bump their head to an NBA YoungBoy song. You gotta be dumb, you gotta be stupid, and you gotta be struggling with reading, having learning disabilities.
Did you see the guy that hit his knees at the show?
Man, that one of them boys been fucked by a big cousin, that's all. Man, what man dropping to his knees for another? Man, that one been molested. A lot of boys that been molested, acting like they ain't in the name of playing bang, bang, bang.
Okay, so anyway, Now, I don't know if Charleston was maniacally saying, he said this to me that he was, but I don't know if this was really his plan. Yo, I talk shit, but I'm still going to go. I don't know. Right? Now, here's the thing, and I've seen some people try to compare this to me with Kendrick's show. I went to Kendrick's show not to be around Kendrick and the Bloods and the Crips in the backstage who are practicing their gangbanging and throwing up signs. I ain't want to do that. I didn't want to be backstage with Kendrick and the gangbangers. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to watch the show at a safe distance in a nice, huge skybox that was paid for. 30 bands for it. I just want to watch the show just to see how the music hits with the audience he brings out. Okay? Now, when YB's team tell me that, yo, he's been talking shit, but it said, let me ask this person. And then I knew it was kind of a no, because I'm talking to both people, and the both of them are saying, let me ask the other nigga. But I ain't tripping, and YB fuck with him. Okay. So I could tell I can't get a clean yes. Charleston's outside just waiting by the thing. He waiting by the entrance where it's whatever. Now, this is another thing too. I get the wristbands. So I get he was with two dudes. I think one filmed from or whatever. So I get the 3 wristbands. Shouts to D-Baby's people. I get 3 wristbands. I said, bet, let's go get Charleston in. And I'm telling my security, I said, if he comes in here, they haven't confirmed what the temperament is with Charleston. So I don't want him walking around in this backstage where we're at, because he's gonna see, or these young YN niggas that's with YB, they're gonna see him. So let's bring him down here, but we're gonna bring him over to where the suites are, that he could watch the show, but he's not interacting with the team until the team is like, oh, Charleston, he cool. We don't give a fuck what he says. But until I get that, I'm trying to make sure I'm not walking a man into a situation where he gets hopped. Okay? Okay. My security, he's not liking the plan already, because all they're kind of looking at me like, nigga, you know we're contracted to work for you. If he's getting his ass whipped, you know you gonna look crazy because you are bringing him in to get his ass whipped. And apparently, like, I guess whoever Charleston's contact was with YB's team, I think they didn't give him no credentials. So I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so I said to my security, Charleston's has been out there for a while. I'm like, all right, we're gonna just get them and walk them to where the suites are. Do not bring them back here backstage. Right when my security's going up to get them, I don't want to dock certain things with the tour, but they go on lockdown. What lockdown means, and you heard in the Aiden video, anytime NBA YoungBoy is about to move, nobody could walk in the venue, and all hallways got to be clear. Okay? My security basically hits me back and says, yo, YB still on, like, right there by the bus. If we bring Charleston down, he's with his 20 homies. And these are not all the homies. He's with the 20 niggas right there. They're definitely going to see Charleston. So if he's not cool with them, Charleston got to walk past YB, because YB ain't coming to venue it. He's just he's in the little, it's an underground parking thing where all the buses load in. He's still by the bus. So at that point, I said, let's not chance it. And also, Charleston was a little bit impatient too. We just killed it. We killed it. And I think it's for good reason. I didn't know it was this much. Because you know what would have happened? Charleston would have walked down there. And I ain't going to lie to you, man. I know it's Uncle Charlie. I know he got one eye. He's a little bit older. But I don't think them YNs look like they give passes out. I think they would have tried to beat the brakes off of him. And I'm glad that, and I want to make it clear, nobody on YB's team ever told me that nothing was going to happen. They never said that they don't fuck with him, but it was really hesitant on giving the green light to bring him there, which I just know the temperament of them young niggas around him. If the main niggas don't like you, If the main niggas don't like you, it's just like the biggest green light for them. So if we can't get a yes on come in, let's chill out. So that happened. I linked up with him after the show. We did some, just some talking and some podcasting, I guess. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I think this made it worse. That
motherfucker good. I think I'm gonna catch the one in Dallas, nigga. Shit. That's what I'm gonna say. And then I will come back and say, yeah, y'all, it was right. But I can barely understand what that nigga saying. He hollering, smoking that goddamn Newport. He ain't working out. He ain't got. So yeah, nigga, I was coming to critique. And I was gonna be an honest critique.
This nigga say he was gonna come in there and say free Dirk. I'm like, nah, nigga, that is not a good idea. So again, I think it turned out for the better. And also, on my perspective, I don't want to bring nothing that could be, ever since all these shows I've been to has been super peaceful. I don't want to put nobody, interest in positions. And, I think it worked out okay. Charleston, obviously, he's a critic. So he's still going to go off on Young Boy. But at least I ain't walk him into an ass whooping, bro. Because here's the thing. Charleston's like, I love Lil Tim. No, Lil Tim love Young Boy. So, like, Lil Tim, since Quando has gotten out of, he's got locked up, Lil Tim is a nigga who I see around Young Boy damn near some of the most. Like, from all the niggas. Like, Young Boy keep Lil Tim right here. So, I know he say he like Lil Tim because I guess he calls him the Demon Slayer because he killed Von. But Lil Tim is loyal to Young Boy. So, I don't think he's going to be like, oh, shit, you love me. Nah, Young Boy. Nah. So, it worked out. Okay. Enough story time, man. Enough story time. Let's move past this. Yeah, you're right. Okay. NLE Choppa